Hello everyone, and welcome to the Black Women in Cyber Fall Symposium. My name is Samantha Floyd, and I have the honor of serving as the lead for Black Women in Cyber under Blacks in Cybersecurity. I'm truly excited to share this space with you today. Before we dive in, I want to invite you to simply take a moment to arrive. If you're joining from work, just getting home from work, from class, from childcare, from errands, from a long day, just pause. Go ahead and get comfortable. Feel free to settle in, grab some water, take a moment, and just relax. This event is designed to be supportive, inspiring, and informative. Most importantly, it is a space centered on you, your journey, your growth, and your place in cybersecurity. We'll get started in just a moment. All right. Thank you again for being here tonight. Your presence in this space matters, and I'm grateful that you chose to spend your time with us and to be a part of this community. This space was created to bring Black women and allies together to learn, to grow, and to support one another's journey in cybersecurity. Tonight is more than a presentation. It is an opportunity to connect, to learn, to be seen, and to see what is possible for you in this field. This community was created for that reason, to make room for us, to support our journey, and to build pathways for growth and belonging in cybersecurity. Whether you're just beginning to explore cybersecurity, already working in the field, or somewhere in the middle figuring out what your path looks like, you're in the right place. This is a space designed with intention to support Black women in cybersecurity in ways that are meaningful, practical, and community-centered. Before we begin, I want to give a bit of context. Black Women in Cyber, or BWIC, is a subdivision under Blacks in Cybersecurity. And while we are a part of something larger, we also serve a very specific purpose: to create a place where Black women in this field can learn, grow, ask questions, build skills, and most importantly, not feel alone in the process. Because for many of us, our journey into cybersecurity didn't come with a roadmap. We had to piece things together, figure things out on our own, guess at the next step, and carry not only the weight of learning in a demanding field, but often the experience of navigating environments where we weren't always represented, understood, or supported. So tonight is about reclaiming our space. It is about aligning opportunity with support and knowledge with community. Here's what we'll walk through together tonight. We'll start with grounding in who Black Women in Cyber is and why this work matters. We'll hear an inspiring journey into cybersecurity from a Black woman leading in this field. We'll take a moment to step into connection through our networking breakout, because community is built through conversation. And then we'll move into a very practical section, our roadmap to cybersecurity, where we'll break down real pathways, real opportunities, and real steps you can take to build your cybersecurity career. We'll also share details about our upcoming Black Women in Cyber cohort launching in January, an 8-week experience designed to help you build skills, confidence, and community. And finally, we'll close with a Q&A, next steps for staying connected. Just a quick housekeeping note. Please do keep yourself muted throughout the session, with the exception of the breakout rooms, of course. If you have questions at any time, whether for Black Women in Cyber staff or for our guest speaker, please type them in the chat. Our moderator will capture them and we'll answer them during our dedicated Q&A toward the end of the event. This allows everyone to be heard, supported, and respected without interruptions. So again, go ahead and take a breath, settle into your space, and give yourself permission to be here. This is a moment for you, a moment to learn, to listen, to expand, and to see yourself reflected in this field. I'm so glad you're here. Let's begin. Before we dive into tonight's conversation, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the women we see here on this slide. This is the Black Women in Cyber Leadership Committee. Each one of us has come to cybersecurity through different paths, different industries, different challenges, and different seasons of life, but we share a deeply aligned purpose: to create a space where Black women in cybersecurity do not just enter the field, but grow, stay, and lead. Being a Black woman in cybersecurity often means being one of the first, one of the only, or one of a few. It means navigating rooms where we are present but not always seen, knowledgeable but not always heard, qualified yet still questioned. Every woman on this leadership team has lived that experience in some way. Instead of just navigating those challenges individually, we made the intentional decision to come together, to build something collective, something lasted, and something rooted in community. We want everyone here to know you do not have to figure this career out alone. This is not a networking club. This is not a social group. This is a community designed for growth, skill building, access, and elevation. We are here because we believe that Black women belong in cybersecurity. not only as practitioners, but as strategists, architects, researchers, engineers, CISOs, founders, and innovators. We're going to build the ecosystem that supports that reality. And I want to specifically take a moment to thank the women who helped make this possible. Dejona, thank you for your leadership, for coordinating our guest speaker, and guiding the program with experience, with clarity and care. Jessica, thank you for your work and engagement and community support. Your presence creates a welcoming atmosphere and helps shape how our members experience this space. Severa, thank you for contributing to our community connection and outreach, and for ensuring that our work stays grounded in intentionality and representation. Black Women in Cyber is not something built by one person. It's built through collaboration, shared purpose, and commitment. I'm deeply grateful to each of you for your time, your insight, your heart, and your consistency. This community is stronger because of you. Let's move forward. Again, just to give a brief overview of how we'll move tonight, we'll begin with an overview of Black women in cyber and why this work matters. Then we'll hear from our guest speaker as she shares her journey into cybersecurity. After that, we'll spend some time connecting in small breakout groups. Then we'll move into a roadmap to cybersecurity, which will give you practical, actionable steps for entering and growing in the field. We'll go ahead and close by introducing the January 2026 Black Women in Cyber cohort, followed by our Q&A and final closing remarks. All right, now I want to speak directly to why Black Women in Cyber exists, the real, tangible need behind this community. Cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing, highest opportunity career fields in the world. There's no shortage of jobs. There's no shortage of demand. Companies across industries are desperately seeking cybersecurity talent, and yet, when we look at who is represented in these spaces, the reality becomes clear. Black women are one of the most underrepresented groups in cybersecurity, not because we lack skill, not because we lack intelligence, and not because we lack interest, but because the pathways to enter and advance in this field are not equitable. Here's what that looks like in real life. Many Black women enter cybersecurity without someone to show them the way, without a mentor who says, start here, take this certification, talk to this hiring manager, try this pathway, without a network to lean on, without someone to validate that their curiosity or their transition or their ambition is possible. And when you're navigating a field where you rarely see yourself reflected, the learning curve feels heavier, the pressure feels greater, the mistakes feel more expensive, and the isolation becomes real. For many of us, success in cybersecurity was not about being guided. It was about figuring it out in the dark. Googling, YouTubing, guessing, applying for roles we weren't sure we were allowed to pursue, learning terminology on our own, trying to decode job descriptions that feel written for someone else. Meanwhile, a lot of our peers in this industry often had someone inside who referred them, someone who prepped them for interviews, someone who explained what SOC analyst actually means, someone who told them what certs actually matter, someone who helped them get that first step in the door, not because they were more capable, but because they had access. And this is the core issue. We do not have a talent problem. Black women enter cybersecurity with brilliance, with tenacity, with resilience, and with an incredible ability to problem solve. The barrier is not talent. The barrier is access, insight, community, representation, sponsorship, visibility, and guided pathways. When those things are missing, careers progress more slowly. Skills develop without strategy. Opportunities are missed. Confidence gets worn down. And sometimes incredibly talented women leave the field altogether, not because they couldn't do it, but because they were doing it alone. And that is the gap Black women in cyber exist to close. Black women in cyber is not here to create interest where there is none. Black women already want to be here. Black women in cyber is here to ensure that once you choose this field, you do not have to walk this path alone. We're here to provide structured guidance instead of guesswork, community support instead of isolation, real examples and real models instead of invisibility, clear roadmaps instead of trial and error, access and belonging instead of gatekeeping. This is not about charity. This is about building a talent pipeline that already exists but has been under-supported. This is not about helping Black women get into cybersecurity. This is about redefining what leadership, expertise, and excellence look like in cybersecurity, and ensuring that Black women are fully recognized within it. This is not a talent gap. This is an access representation gap, and this is the reality we are working to change. Now that we talked about why Black women in cyber is necessary, I want to share who we are and what we are building together. BWIC, or Black Women in Cyber, exists to empower, educate, and support Black women in navigating, developing, and advancing their cybersecurity careers through community, skill building, networking, and visibility. Our mission is to empower Black women in cybersecurity by fostering a diverse and inclusive community that champions excellence. We work intentionally to expand access, confidence, and opportunity through job pairing and career pathways, resource sharing and professional development, scholarship support, cybersecurity education and awareness initiatives, and much more. Because we understand something important. Talent is not the issue. Access, support, and visibility are. Black Women in Cyber was created to close that gap. Our mission is rooted in 4 core pillars. The first, empower. We create spaces where Black women do not have to shrink, justify, or mask brilliance to belong. Here, your expertise, your curiosity, and your voice are valued, never questioned. Empowerment means saying, yes, you belong here and we are building with you, not for you. And then number 2, educate. Cybersecurity can feel overwhelming when navigating it alone. So we break down career roles, skill pathways, study strategies, certifications, and hands-on learning resources. Our goal is to remove confusion and replace it with clarity, confidence, and practical direction. Our third pillar is connect. In cybersecurity, opportunities often come through networks. Historically, Black women have been excluded from many of those professional circles, so we're building our own peer networks, support groups, study communities, professional connections, and spaces to collaborate and grow together. You do not have to do this career alone, and we go further together. Then our fourth pillar is elevate. We spotlight Black women as innovators, researchers, engineers, strategists, leaders, founders, and CISOs. We are not just entering the field, we are shaping it. We are building a pipeline where Black women are not just present, but centered, recognized, and supported to lead. Black Women in Cyber is not only about opening doors, it's about making sure Black women are prepared, supported, and celebrated when we walk through them. And we're building an ecosystem for our growth, our excellence, and our legacy.
Awesome. Thank you, Samantha, for introducing Black Women in Cyber and setting the theme for tonight. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Tonight we are honored to welcome Shaniqua Burks, MBA, CISSP. Shaniqua is a solutions consultant at Palo Alto Networks and the founder of the Pre-Sales Acceleration and Training Hub, also known as PATH, P-A-T-H. Her work focuses on empowering professionals to confidently enter and excel in technical pre-sales and cybersecurity roles. She's a leader, a mentor, and a powerful advocate for access and representation in tech. Please join me in welcoming Shaniqua Burks.
Such a vast area to be in, even though it may look very small when you first, well, not small, but it can be very narrow when you first get in, having to pick a lane and kind of stick to it. But as you start finding your way, it becomes easier to do the things that highlight the skills that you possess naturally. So give me 1 second and I'll share my screen. Trying to figure out the right way to do it so I don't mess up. I always get the never-ending screen and then I look crazy. Give me 1 second, you guys. All right, there we go. I should be good, fingers crossed. All right, we're good. All right, so this is my career timeline. This is, sometimes people, I think, get disappointed in maybe the way that their career is going or not getting there fast enough or not achieving certain goals by a certain time. I didn't have my degree until 10 years in my career. I didn't have certifications. A lot of it was really self-study. And of course, I joined tech back in 2008, so it's probably a lot easier to do that then. But I say all that to say, a lot of it is self-studying, finding the right sponsors, the right mentors, understanding like what your natural talents are. I naturally love talking to people. I have a grandmother that was, teacher for more than 40 years. And so I had to do essays as a kid for punishment and read. And so I naturally can talk to people and pull people in. And that just became my, unfair advantage. Think about your unfair advantages, the things that you bring to the table that you really shine at. whether it's cybersecurity, nursing, teaching, no matter what you're doing, you have unfair advantages and you should really exploit them. I did join the military. I left college. I went to college for 2 years and decided it's too expensive. I went to Virginia Union University down in Richmond. It was a private school and the tuition was ridiculous. So I came home during summer break after being on the dean's list for 2 years and told my parents I'm going to basic training in a couple days, and I'm a daddy's girl, so I thought my dad was about to have a heart attack. But I went in as an intel analyst, was able to get my clearance, was able to do a lot of things that I didn't think I would be able to, being in basic training and kind of going through that entire environment. From that, you know, joining the reserves, I was able to become a SOC analyst within the U.S. Army ACERT. So basically, you know, looking at logs, using ArcSight, all the things. Fast forward to probably Booz Allen Hamilton was really my first start in consulting. I tell a lot of early in career people the best way to like sharpen your technical chops and be able to have exposure and access to a lot of different areas in cyber is really joining a consulting company if you can. So Booz Allen Hamilton, KPMG, Accenture, Deloitte, any of those companies, they'll bring you in, kind of sharpen your professional skills, teach you the soft skills, as well as, you know, expose you to a lot of those contracts where they have the cyber, they won the cyber contracts that they can show you the tools that they're currently using. So I went to Splunk after working with Splunk as a consultant. I was showing all my customers how to use Splunk, talking with, you know, people in the industry, and someone came up to me and was like, you know, you get paid a lot less being a consultant than you do being a sales engineer. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm making 6 figures. And they were like, you can get paid a lot more than that plus commission. And all you do is teach customers within your, you know, your assigned territory, the same things that you're teaching them. So I got kind of referred into Splunk and became a sales engineer there, supporting DoD agencies, well, Department of War agencies. And I enjoyed it and followed my team that was at Splunk to Palo. And I've been here, it was 3 years, October 17th. I love it. I like the young folks say, I love it here. It's giving culture. So I tell people, you know, this is probably the most authentic I've been in my career. Being at Accenture, Booz Allen Hamilton, I had, you know, straight hair. I permed my hair every, you know, 4 weeks, 4 months, whatever. I forget how often I permed it, but you had to wear suits and everything was polished. And it's draining to have to wear that mask, especially as Black women. You know, we come into the space and a lot of the times we're the only, but we want to make sure we don't stick out too much. But, you know, where I am in my career, where I am as a sales engineer, I really do feel comfortable, like being myself and just being able to just show up authentically. So, you know, I encourage a lot of people explore different career fields, talk to people, understand who's in your network, what they do, really dig into like how they got to where they are, because there isn't just one way, you know, to get to success. Samantha, am I answering questions now or at the end? I'm open to answering questions now if you like.
If you have time to stick around till the end, we can wait till our Q&A, but if you have to drop, we can go ahead and do the questions now.
Oh, no, I don't have to drop. I can wait.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, we'll wait till Q&A at the end.
Sure. And how much time do I have? I don't want to go over.
You have as much time as you want, trust me.
Oh.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So I not recently, 2 years ago, I started Path, right? Because there were people just like you guys who were trying to figure out how to break in, trying to figure out, you know, how to get into either sales engineering, cyber, you know, whatever the case may be. How do I network? What do I need to do from a professional standpoint? And a lot of the time, I'll say 80% of the time, when you're looking for a direction, you can get to where you need to be by either networking, exposure, or just simply having the skills at the right time. A lot of it is timing. And so I started Path as a way to kind of give people all of that. Pre-sales advancement and training hub is really a way to not only bring people in to learn their tech skills to create a foundation, but also the soft skills to build a foundation and then be surrounded by a community. So a community of people that are in the field like myself. There are people that are a part of Cisco, Cloudflare, ID.me, Airtable. There are people from all different companies that are sales engineers. as well as a way to just build community and build a village around you. We recently went to Afrotech. That was our first like big team event. And it felt good to see so many people interested in sales engineering and wanting to understand our backgrounds and how we got to where we are. And it really opened our eyes. Like there really is a gap, not only for people that look like me, but just women in general, for getting into tech and really being successful. It's one thing to, have the blueprint and someone tells you how they did it, but really showing you the ropes and taking the time out to really, break things down and expose you to people that are in leadership, expose you to some of the skills that you wouldn't have known that you need to Google. It's enlightening. So we just became 501c3 a month ago. So we're like baby nonprofits. But it's exciting. And please, like I said, feel free to add me on LinkedIn. I have been a part of Blacks in Cyber for about 3 or 4 years now. I'm on the mentorship program board with Jess and Chad and Nita and all the great people that I've looked up to for years. This will probably be a shameless plug. Volunteer with your local nonprofits and the ones that you're a part of. Once you get to where you want to be sure to give back. But as far as my career, I think it's really been a mix of adversity, understanding how to be resilient, having a lot of grit, and just wanting to be successful by any means necessary. Like anytime somebody has told me no, or told me, you need a degree to do this, I've proven to them you don't necessarily need all those things. Sometimes you just have to be willing and eager to learn something new, kind of step outside your box. Public speaking is a lost art. So if you are comfortable speaking in front of people and putting yourself out there, you'll definitely stand out. I've had mentees create Luma videos and send them to get me to mentor them, like blind, cold LinkedIn DMs. And I'm like, this person has the audacity. I can't be mad at it. Like they literally put their entire business card in a video to grab someone's attention. So cybersecurity is amazing. It's also a place where you have to be resilient enough to know that not every moment is going to be a good moment. Like sometimes you do have to pick yourself up and have, the strength to say, yes, it sucks right now, and, it probably won't get better tomorrow, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what it's all about. As Black women, I think we need each other now more than ever. I think I read a statistic, Black women are currently the most unemployed demographic right now, not only because of the shutdown, but because of the people that we have making decisions for us in the government. And so we do really need to stick together. I'm a girl's girl. I'm very much like, I want to see, the women that look like me and my grandmother and my mom all succeed, because if we don't look out for each other, honestly, and as sad as it is, no one else will. Yes, 350,000 in the first 90 days. They've shown us what they thought about us, and we are probably the most educated, at the top of our game, because we have to be. Sometimes we are put into situations where it's not by choice. It's because we literally have to do this in order to be the best of the best. It's amazing to be a part of this. I was humbled when they reached out to me to talk. I'm like, me? You don't realize the things that you've accomplished and kind of how far you've come in your career and the knowledge that you're able to pass on just by reaching down, inside your basket and figuring out all the things that you've been through. Darren is here. That's my guy. Please connect with Darren too. He's an OG. He loves us Black women. He's lifted me up multiple times.
Love you to death.
Yes, I think it's good to have allies in Black men or any men lifting us up on the cyber side. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. It's so beautiful to see 30-something people all coming together for a collective cause. I'm gonna stop rambling now, Samantha. I'll take questions at the end. That's the part I'm excited for. Or Dejana.
I see some. Oh, there she go. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shaniqua. I will actually let Dejana continue on this one here.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. I really appreciate you coming here to speak. And of course, yes, you were one of the first people that I thought about especially because I came from the mentorship cohort that we did earlier this year. So yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you for sharing your experience. And
I lost my screen. I'm like trying to find y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we are. Let me get off camera.
Awesome. But yes, thank you so much. Yes, I love that. Thank you. I'm sure everyone else appreciated hearing your time as well and hearing about your story. So thank you. Greatly appreciate it. So now, after we heard from our speaker, after we've kind of come together for a little bit, we want to take some time to connect before we dive into our technical roadmap. So we're about to break out into breakout rooms. So in your breakout room, we want you guys to introduce yourself, share your goals and where you are in your cybersecurity journey. And if you're comfortable, drop your LinkedIn in the chat. This could be the exposure that Shaniqua just mentioned inside of her talk. So it is also important to remember that your network is your net worth. You never know how you can positively impact others and vice versa. This is another reason why this space is so important, and I want you all to remember that everyone can bring something valuable to the table, whether if you're early or seasoned in your career. This is also for new interpretation and perspective that you can implement inside of your own goals and aspirations as well. We do encourage everyone to be an active participant and turn on your cameras if accessible. There should be an icebreaker game in the chat to help get to know one another, and you all should be able to find that now or within like the next couple of minutes. And we'll see you all back here in 8 minutes because breakouts are opening right now.
Perfect. Yes, breakout rooms are opening now. And for everyone, I think there should have just been a notification that popped up on your screen requesting to put you in your breakout room.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that everybody had fun. Welcome back. I feel like I went into one room and I was listening in on the conversation a little bit. And yeah, I feel like, did y'all really need the icebreaker questions? Because they were just able to speak about speak about the upcoming exams that they had and being great champions to one another. So that was great to hear. That was also great to kind of listen in on. And this is why, this exists. The energy in the room is why Black Women in Cyber exists. Connection accelerates learning. So let's channel that momentum into a practical roadmap that you all can act on immediately. All right, this section is really the heart of tonight. This is where we move from inspiration into hands-on direction. You do not have to know everything to begin. You only need a starting point and determination. It is 100% okay to pivot, and it's never too late to start anything new. We will walk through the main job paths, skills needed, useful certifications, how to build experience without a job, and finally a 30, 60, 90-day action plan. By the end of this section, you'll know exactly what your next step is. Not someday, not anything else, but by this week.
Hi everyone. Again, thank you guys for coming and just being here. So now we're going to talk about the cybersecurity landscape. So when we think about cybersecurity, many people picture hacking or coding. But cybersecurity is actually a very broad field with many different types of roles. One of the most empowering things about this field is that there is no one way in. There are multiple entry points depending on your background, your interest, and what your strengths are. So let's talk about some of the core pathways. You have a SOC analyst. This is often the common first role. So you're monitoring alerts, analyzing potential threats, and escalating issues when necessary. Think of this as the front line to cybersecurity. Then you have governance, risk, and compliance, which is also known as GRC. So if you're somebody who loves structure, documentation, problem solving, GRC might be the place for you. So this work focuses on policies, frameworks, risk assessments, and ensuring organizations meet security standards. Cloud security is another pathway where companies are migrating to AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Securing cloud environments is one of the highest demand skill sets right now. Then you have threat intelligence, which is about understanding the why behind an attack. The motive, the patterns, and the global trends. So you're always analyzing the behavior and helping the organization prepare before threats happen. Then you have incident response. So if something goes wrong, they're going to call you. Incident response focuses on the containment, recovery, and preventing future incidents. Then you have penetration testing / ethical hacking. This is the offensive side, legally breaking into a system to find the vulnerabilities before the attackers do. So this path usually requires hands-on practice, but is accessible with consistency and guided learning. So the key points here, your first role is simply a starting point, not your forever role. It actually kind of goes back to what Shaniqua had mentioned earlier. It's a path. So cybersecurity, you evolve, you grow, you pivot, and you level up over time. So then the question becomes, how do you break into cybersecurity? I want to make this really practical. If you're trying to break into cybersecurity, here's a proven roadmap that it works. First, you need to learn the fundamentals. Fundamentals are key. So before any certification or job title, you want to understand 3 key things: how networks communicate, how operating systems work, and what basic security controls are. You don't need to master everything, just build a foundation. Step 2, get hands-on practice. So this is where platforms like TryHackMe, Hack the Box, and Blue Team Labs come in. Start with beginner labs, don't skip the fundamentals, but be consistent and build your confidence. So step 3, you gotta document your learning. This is one of the most overlooked steps. So post what you're learning on LinkedIn, keep a GitHub portfolio, and write short breakdowns of labs. You're not showing perfection, you're showing your progress. Visibility builds credibility. And step 4, apply before you're ready. Apply before you feel ready. Imposter syndrome is real, but cybersecurity is a field where people grow into their roles. So you don't have to learn, you do not learn by waiting, you learn by doing.
Thank you, Jessica. All right, so let's talk certifications. Certifications that open doors. Certifications are not the only way into cybersecurity, but they're powerful. Definitely a way to build credibility, gain structure in your learning, and signal to employers that you're serious about your growth. But I do want to stress this: certifications should support your path, not define it. You don't need 10 certs. You don't need to rush. You just need to be strategic. So let's go ahead and walk through a few certifications you'll commonly see in cybersecurity and what they'll actually do for your career. So for starters, let's talk about CompTIA Security Plus. This is one of the most recognized and respected foundational certifications in cybersecurity. It builds core cybersecurity vocabulary, helps you understand threats, risk, encryption, identity, networks, and defense concepts. It's often listed as a requirement or a preferred qualification for entry-level roles. If you're just getting started and don't know where to begin, Security Plus is a great first step. And then also, from CompTIA as well, we have the Network Plus, which focuses on networking foundations. Networking is the backbone of cybersecurity. Everything we secure runs over a network, right? So the certification is great if you're new to tech overall, if you want a deeper grasp of how systems communicate, or if you want to feel more confident before Security Plus. Some people take Network Plus first, others after. Either is okay. There's no one set path. Another one that we wanted to bring up is the CompTIA CYSA Plus, or Cybersecurity Analyst Plus. This one's about threat detection and defense. So this one's great if you're interested in security analyst roles, SOC teams, threat hunting, blue team defense. CYSA Plus teaches how to detect threats, how to interpret logs, how to analyze threats, and how to respond to security incidents. This is defensive cybersecurity, protecting systems. And then to move on to an offensive path, specifically penetration testing or ethical hacking. This one is for if you're drawn to the hacker side, ethically of course. Definitely you could consider EJPT, or the Junior Penetration Tester Certification, or CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker. EJPT is a great beginner-friendly offensive cert. It focuses on teaching real attacker methodology. And then for Certified Ethical Hacker, that one is a little more well-known, but it's more heavy in theory. It's still valued by many employers just because everyone recognizes that name. But the key here is choose based on your pathway, not on popularity. You know, there's no one special cert for one role. There's plenty to go after. And then moving on, something that I did want to mention is the CISSP. Now this certification is for experienced professionals. This one is not an entry-level one, but that's okay. CISSP is for leadership roles, governance, security management, and strategy. You need several years of experience to certify, but you can study for the knowledge earlier in your career. File this one under for later, maybe no, for later, but worth knowing that it exists. The real message here though is certifications should accelerate your direction, not overwhelm you. You do not need to take everything at once. You do not need to compare your timeline to anyone else's. Your certification journey might look like maybe Security Plus first to get that foundational knowledge, maybe then CYSA Plus or EJPT based on your path, and then maybe CISSP later when you step into leadership. The key here is to choose intentionally. Choose what aligns with your goals. And remember, community makes studying easier. You do not have to take these exams alone, and you won't, not in Black Women in Cyber. We will be studying, learning, and leveling up together.
So, your network, so we're going to talk about building your brand and your network. So your network and your personal brand is going to open doors just as much as your skills will. So a few key tips. Showcase your learning publicly. If you complete a Try Hack Me lab, post a short recap. If you study for Security Plus, share a takeaway. People remember consistency. Engage in cyber communities. So like the Black Women in Cyber, you have Black women, Blacks in Cyber, Women in Cybersecurity, LinkedIn groups, local meetups, and community accelerates growth. Connect before you ask. Networking is not about can you refer me. It's about building relationships that create referrals naturally. The more visible you are, the more opportunities that you'll find.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Now, we want to close this section with something really important. Your cybersecurity journey is your own. It's easy to kind of look at others and kind of think like, you know, am I on the right path? Why am I not where they are? We started around the same time, anything like that. But there's no place for that here. It really is just about yourself. You know, there's no perfect timing, no perfect background, no perfect age, no perfect starting point. The only decision is to begin, and then the decision to keep going. Cybersecurity is not something you arrive at. It's a journey, and it grows with you. So let's talk about what your next steps can look like. Not in theory, but practically. So to make this digestible, we do want to give you a simple 30, 60, 90-day roadmap that you can start using immediately, no matter where you are in your journey. So to discuss, I see somebody getting admitted. So just to discuss first 30 days. First 30 days, you should really focus on foundation and clarity. So focus on exploring and understanding the cybersecurity landscape. Research different cybersecurity job paths, maybe cybersecurity analyst, GRC, pen testing, cloud security, etc. Take some notes on what interests you. Not what sounds prestigious, but what you actually, what motivates you, what drives you, what excites you. After that, think about completing 1 or 2 beginner-friendly learning modules, whether that's Google Cybersecurity Certificate, Try Hack Me Beginner Path, LinkedIn Learning, there's plenty out there. And then also join a cybersecurity community. There is Blacks in Cyber and Black Women in Cyber, but there are also plenty more communities that you can join. The goal of the first 30 days is not mastery, it's clarity. You cannot build towards something that you have not defined, so we're working on that here. After those first 30 days, moving on to day 31 through 60, the focus there should be skill building and just developing your routine. Now that you know your direction, let's start building some consistency, right? So Choose one skill to build at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with multiple things at once. So for example, start with networking, start with basic scripting, policy writing, cloud fundamentals. After that, set a study schedule you can actually maintain. You know, if you work full time or if you're in school as well, maybe you can't dedicate 10 to 15 hours a week on your studies, but maybe you can do 2 or maybe you can do 4. And that's enough. Honestly, it's about being consistent. So weekly consistent time is better. And then during that second month period, those days 31 through 60, another thing to do is definitely work on some hands-on labs or cyber challenges. And also begin updating your resume or LinkedIn to reflect not only where you've been, but where you're heading. This is where confidence begins to grow steadily, slowly, and week by week. And then for days 61 through 90, let's focus on application and visibility. This is where you begin showing your work, right? So join or start a study group, post your learning journey, even the smallest wins on LinkedIn, or you know, if you have your own website, social media, anything like that. Visibility does create opportunity. And then moving forward, begin applying to internships, training programs, entry-level roles. It's not about, you know, am I qualified? Just go ahead and submit those applications and see what happens. And then reach out to people in the field for informational conversations. You know, not reaching out asking for a job, but just asking for some guidance or some clarity. The goal here is momentum, confidence, and connection. The path you take doesn't have to look like mine or anyone else's. You don't have to know everything right now. You just have to be ready and willing to take the next step. And you don't have to take that step by yourself. That's what Black Women in Cyber is here for. To support you, to guide you, to build alongside you, and to remind you that your journey is valid, powerful, and unfolding at the right pace. Your cybersecurity journey starts here, and we are honored to walk with you. All right, take a sip of water. Okay, so I'm very excited about this part. Everything we walk through tonight really leads to this moment. We've talked about the challenges Black women in cybersecurity face, not because we lack talent, intelligence, or drive, but because the pathways, support systems, and networks we need are not always made visible or made accessible to us. So Black Women in Cyber is here to change that intentionally and sustainably. So tonight, I am extremely excited to introduce the Black Women in Cyber cohort. Our first cohort will be launching in January 2026. That is not our only one. We'll be doing multiple ones throughout the year. However, that's our first one. So this isn't just a program. This is not a one-time event. This is the beginning of a sustained, structured development ecosystem for Black women in cybersecurity. So let's dive in. What is the Black Women in Cyber cohort? The BWIC cohort is an 8-week guided professional development and skill building experience designed specifically for Black women across all stages of their cybersecurity journey. Whether you're exploring the field, transitioning into the field, or looking to advance, this cohort brings together weekly hands-on workshops, real-world skill practice, career guidance, mentorship, networking, community learning, accountability and encouragement, and access to support network that lasts long after the cohort ends. Our goal for every cohort participant is to leave with confidence, clarity, practical skills, a stronger network, and a plan for your next step. Not someday, not in theory, but immediately. When we are let me backtrack actually. What will we be doing each week? So what are we going to focus on in this cohort? Main things, we're focusing on real, actionable skill growth, as well as networking and community. Some of our workshop themes are going to include Intro to Cybersecurity Fundamentals, Understanding Security Roles and Choosing Your Career Direction, hands-on technical labs like Intro to SQL, Intro to Python, System and Network Fundamentals, Secure Thinking and Threat Identification. We'll be doing some Capture the Flag mini challenges to build problem solving and confidence. We're going to do multiple hack nights and tool walkthroughs just so you can gain some comfort with real security tools, learn how to use them. And then of course, professional development. We're going to be working on personal branding, resume and LinkedIn optimization, interview practice, navigating workspace dynamics, and much more. This is not theory. This is not listening and taking notes. This is learning by doing in real time with support. So what makes this cohort different? This is the part that matters. This cohort is specifically designed for Black women. That means you do not have to explain why. You do not have to shrink yourself to be in the room. You can speak the way you want to speak. You do not have to translate yourself to fit in. You do not have to pretend you're not learning and leading at the same time. You get to show up fully, your voice, your story, your goals, your questions, your ambition. You will be surrounded by women who look like you, understand you, and most importantly, are rooting for you. Representation isn't the bonus, it's the foundation. So community is a bigger focus here, not just classes, not even just the cohort. The cohort is definitely a launch point, but the community is what sustains the growth. After the cohort, we will continue study groups, certification accountability teams, networking events, guest speaker series, and a community space for asking questions, sharing wins, and supporting one another. This is a long-term ecosystem, not a one-and-done program. If you're thinking, but am I ready? The answer is yes. If you're in this room right now, you're ready. If you're curious, you're ready. If you're returning to the field, if you're changing careers, or if you're leading already, we want you here and you're ready. We're building a community that holds every level, every learner, and every leader. No one is behind, no one is starting too late, and no one is alone. We are not just preparing Black women to enter cybersecurity. We are preparing Black women to belong in cybersecurity, to lead in cybersecurity, and to reshape cybersecurity. And we're doing it together. Our cohort application is now live, and when you get to the application, you will notice that there are 2 pathways you can select from. One is for those who are ready to join the cohort and learn, and then the other section of the application is for those who feel called to help and lead and shape this committee through the Black Women in Cyber Committee. Both are meaningful and both matter, so whether you want to be in the cohort directly or if you want to come join the Black Women in Cyber Committee, that application is there. Whether you're just starting into your role, whether you're ready in leadership, there's a place for you here, and we would definitely love to see you apply. That link will be dropped in the chat as well. Just a couple last slides here, but this one is very important. This is our donation appreciation. Before we close, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge and thank the individuals who have contributed to Black Women in Cyber through donations. Your support directly impacts the work we're building. It allows us to keep workshops and programming accessible, expand professional development resources, provide scholarships for certifications and training, and create learning environments where Black women can truly grow and lead. Every contribution, no matter the size, helps us build a community that is sustainable, resourced, and empowered. To everyone listed here, thank you. Thank you for believing in this mission. Thank you for investing in Black women, and thank you for choosing to be a part of the solution. This work is collective. This community is collective. We build this together. Your support helps us continue doing the work, and it really does matter. So again, thank you. And now for our closing slide. This has been a really fun event. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you for your energy, your attention, your presence, and your openness. I do want to name something very clearly before we leave. You were not here by accident. Something in you, curiosity, alignment, hunger for growth, belonging, purpose, brought you into this space. I'm grateful and truly honored that you showed up tonight. I hope that you felt seen, supported, and inspired, whether you're just starting out in cybersecurity, transitioning into the field, or already established and growing your career. Everything we shared tonight, the speaker stories, the roadmap guidance, the networking, the cohort invitation, it's all rooted in one truth. You do not have to navigate this journey alone. Black Women in Cyber is a community, a network, a support system, and a space to grow, not by yourself, but with others who genuinely want to see you win. So as we close here, here's a couple ways to stay connected. First, join the Black Women in Cyber and Blacks in Cybersecurity Discord community. So we did go ahead and drop that link. If that's not working, you can go to the Blacks in Cybersecurity website, which is also dropped in chat now, and apply to join there. This Discord is the space where we connect, asking questions, sharing resources, studying together, and supporting one another. Once you join the Blacks in Cybersecurity Discord, you'll see a dedicated Black Women in Cyberspace inside, and that's where we will continue to build community, growing together, staying connected beyond tonight. And just to be clear, you do not need to be a cohort member to be a part of the Black Women in Cyber community. So the community as a whole is for everyone. Whether you want to apply to the cohort or not, still please join our community. We'd love to see you there, and you can find that link in the chat as well. And then number two, follow us on social media. We like to highlight Black women in the field, share opportunities, and promote events and workshops. So you can find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, Facebook, and all those links are in the chat as well. And then lastly, apply for the Black Women in Cyber cohort. If anything tonight resonated with you, if something clicked, if you felt called to take your next step, the cohort is where that momentum continues. Whether you are a cohort member or Black Women in Cyber committee member, we would love to walk with you as you grow. And lastly, if you feel called to support Black Women in Cyber through donation, thank you. Your support definitely helps us keep programming accessible, and it builds sustainable pathways for our community. Their donation link has also been dropped in the chat. But everyone, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for choosing to spend your time in this space and with this community. We appreciate you, we see you, and we are more than excited to grow with you. Everyone, have a great evening, and we hope to see you inside the